Hi Gemini and Gemini rising, this is your December 2016 forecast. So until the 21st of December, the Sun is going to be in your 7th house, and the 7th is the house of partnerships, all significant one-on-one relationships. It's also consulting, because this is where we consult with other people. And so if you consult personally, then this is going to be a very busy month for you. The Sun here is going to make you more focused and charismatic in all your one-on-one encounters. So consulting business is bound to take off. But this is also the house where we don't really want to go it alone. So this is where you look for support from other people, and you look at where partnerships and significant relationships can take you further. The 7th house is also a good placement for you to look for professional advice from other people. So it's a very good time of year to consult with lawyers, astrologers, accountants, anyone who can help you develop your ideas through their expert counsel. Your ruling planet Mercury is also going retrograde this month in Capricorn in your 8th house, and this is the house of joint resources and money that we share with other people. So with Mercury retrograde here, even though the Sun will be joining it, and the Sun in the 8th is typically a good time to take out a loan, with Mercury retrograde, the opposite is going to be true. It's not going to be a good time to take out a loan. Or to spend money on a new business. But it is going to be a very good placement for you to consolidate all your financial affairs and to look at give and take in relationships, generally speaking. So consolidating financial matters is going to be very good. The 8th house is also very good for self-mastery, because it's traditionally the house of fears and anxieties of mind, and it's through exploring these avenues that we come to self-mastery. So it's good to purge, behaviors that no longer serve us. It's so good for getting to the bottom of things, because Mercury, that planet of the mind, shows your focus and attention on these areas, and because Mercury can lend an element of detachment, so you'll be able to make progress in these areas because you won't be as emotionally invested. So this is also, with Mercury retrograding here, your ruling planet, it's a good time to pay off debts, taxes. You can expect some delays around joint resources, and like I said, it's not a good time to seek out a loan or invest in a new area. But it does favor cleaning out the old and getting your financial affairs in order. So we're going to have Venus and Mars in your 9th house between the 8th and the 19th of December. And Venus in the 9th on its own is going to try and expand your experiences and awareness, because the 9th house isn't the house of the mundane, it's the house where we find meaning and significance. So Venus here, you're looking to expand your experiences and horizons through Venusian things. So for some, this can be through travel or study, so travel to beautiful destinations. It's a great time for taking a vacation if you can. But Venus also favors study of creative things, so art, fashion, those sorts of areas, very favorable at this time. With Mars in this house, you're going to be actively seeking out those experiences. Mars is that energy yang planet, so driven, focused. So really seeking out adventure, looking for things that are going to take you off the beaten track. So lots of adventure and new experiences with these two planets. In the 9th house, it can also show intense attraction to foreigners or people that are very different to yourself. So for some of you, this could indicate a love match with a foreigner or a person that's unusual or different. So let's look at what else is happening this month. We had the new moon on the 29th of November in your 7th house, so putting that spotlight on partnerships. For some people, this could mean making a relationship public, so taking something that's been under wraps and advertising it in a public sphere. So also difficult aspects to Neptune, so some of you may have had high hopes or expectations around a partnership that may not have been grounded in reality. But from the 1st, we've got some positive aspects happening. Mars is trining Jupiter from your 9th to your 5th house. So Mars and Jupiter together are very good for getting creative business projects off the ground. Jupiter in your 5th house for the next year, very good for personal creative business projects and passion projects especially. And this aspect with Mars trining Jupiter puts a lot of energy behind it. You're feeling very focused, clear-headed, and you're acting out of your own best interests. So really running with something that you feel excited about. So on the 3rd, Mars is sextiling Saturn in your 7th house, and this is where things get more concrete and grounded, where you're able to pay attention to details. So it's getting those big projects off the ground, but in the practical way, dealing with all the routine, careful work that needs to be done. Realistic and practical objectives and goals are dealt with very well by this aspect. So on the 9th, we have the Sun sextiling Jupiter from your 7th to your 5th houses, and this really puts you into a very lucky, optimistic, buoyant frame of mind, and this is all around partnerships, passion projects, children. So very good for professional activities, just because you're in such a good frame of mind, so you can really see things through, feel positive and excited, and maintain your enthusiasm. So this is very good for rethinking goals, ideals, objectives, and making plans for the future. It helps you also get along with authority figures and helps you with, and for you, this help is going to come from partnerships and other people. So they're going to aid you in your endeavors. So on the 10th, the Sun is conjuncting Saturn in your 7th house. And the Sun and Saturn in the house of partnerships and significant one-on-one people relationships brings duties, responsibilities, obligations to the fore. So you have to deal with that aspect of relationships. So consolidating, looking at the details around partnership that need, practical attention, detailed attention, hard work perhaps. So these are the aspects of partnerships that aren't necessarily always fun, but can lead to accomplishment and recognition and make things more stable and long-lasting within partnerships. So it can also show getting advice from older people or trusted peers and respected figures. So if you're looking for counsel, this is a good day to seek it from older, established authority figures. So on the 12th of December, we've got the Sun trining Uranus from your 7th to the 11th house. And this is very good for new activities. You're looking for things that are going to be exciting, novel. You've kind of got a clear sense of objectives. The 11th house is that house of goals, objectives, things that are bigger than ourselves. So there's a lot of clear thinking and inspiration around these areas. So partnerships going to a new level. Group activities, very productive and fruitful, opening up new avenues for you. So an exciting, alert, and invigorating aspect. So the full moon this month is in your sign, Gemini, and it's going to be in your 1st house. So this is where, because you've been so invested in partnerships, other people, and having those kinds of conversations and interactions, the 1st house brings the focus back to yourself. This is where you're like, what about me and my needs? And you're looking at whether other people are catering to those needs. You can have felt a bit overwhelmed by your obligations to other people, so feeling a little bit weighted down by this. So this is a very good moon to kind of delegate responsibilities and partnerships, make sure there's a fair give and take, and that one of you isn't doing all of the work, particularly if it's you. So Mercury goes retrograde on the 19th of this month, so it's going to be retrograding in your 8th house, and this is that house of shared resources where you look at give and take. As I said before, Mercury in the 8th retrograde, this is where you want to consolidate all your financial responsibilities, renew policies, look over paperwork, pay your taxes. It's not, however, a good time to take out a loan, or to mortgage your house or do anything like that. So cautious, consolidating attention around financial affairs and not taking out loans or reinvesting in something at this time. So just be a little bit more careful with that side of your life, and things will go through pretty seamlessly. This is in any case the time of year where there are going to be miscommunications and all those traditional Mercury significators when Mercury is retrograde. And for you in the house, this house of finances and joint resources, this is just where you want to take a little bit more care and, take care of unfinished business as well. So the Sun is also moving into your 8th house, so it's really about consolidating financial affairs at the end of the month for you. On the 24th, Saturn trines Uranus, and this is a very fruitful and productive combination. Saturn is that planet of stability, restraint, obligations, and Uranus is progressive, independent, looking for novel experiences, looking for the new. So this is, in a sense, the best of both worlds. You've got, Saturn consolidating, helping with discipline, and Uranus working with new areas and avenues of inquiry. And for you, this is around partnerships, it's around friends, groups. So lots of progressive, innovative energy, but also stable and structured. So So perhaps changes that were initially also quite difficult or challenging are now being integrated into your life. So the new is being integrated and becoming part of your routine. So lots of new ideas and lots of new incentives and structure around friendships, groups, higher ideals and purpose and partnerships. So exciting changes for you. So on the 25th of December, we've got some great aspects between Venus and several other planets. Venus is trining Jupiter, which is always great for relaxing, having a good time, generosity and abundance. So wonderful aspect for socializing, entertaining, going to a party. Venus is also sextiling Saturn and Uranus, so interacting with older people, family members, commitments, but also new and exciting encounters potentially. So make sure you do go to a party or extend that invitation to others. So on the 26th, we've got Jupiter opposing Uranus from your 5th to your 11th house. And this is an aspect that we're going to see again in 2017. And this is really great. It's happening in your social houses. So for some of you, this could show opportunities to improve your circumstances through a new romance, through interactions with children, through personal business. So this opposition can bring this through other people, events. So opportunities come to you. So this is very good for experiencing freedom, lifting burdens and responsibilities. And so welcome new opportunities to improve your circumstances. And for you, happening in very social houses. And it could really be a new romance or a new friendship or a new goal or objective that you're developing. So a very exciting aspect for you. And so on the 28th, the Sun is sextiling Mars. And this is between your 8th and the 11th houses. So this could have to do with budgets, financial things that you need to consolidate, taking the initiative. So perhaps you are getting things in order and off the ground and organized. So on the 29th, we've got a new moon in Capricorn in your 8th house. And this new moon in Capricorn, again, the focus on joint resources, consolidating those sorts of things. But the 8th house is also the house of, because like I said, it deals with fears and anxieties of mind. It can lead to self-mastery. So this is also a very good placement for doing psychodynamic work or, personal investigative work. So good for any kind of healing modality and personal, self-discovery. So in Capricorn, this moon is very grounded and practical and real. So, what can you do to improve your circumstances? What can you do to get your house in order, particularly financial affairs in order? So duties and responsibilities. And with the sextile to Mars, perhaps cautious risks are also involved. So getting those affairs in order, doing that self-reflexive personal work. So the month ends with the Sun sextiling Neptune, which really sensitizes you to the needs of other people. Mars is also conjuncting Neptune. So this can really make us want to do some selfless service and, experience a bit of the spirit of gracious giving in the festive season. So heightened sensitivity to the needs of other people, and this can be very good for any kind of philanthropic or humanitarian charitable endeavors. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this forecast, and if you have, please like and subscribe. Have a great festive season and have a happy new year. Thank you so much for listening.